Everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to be solving rational equations. So we've already looked at adding and subtracting rational expressions, as well as multiplying and dividing rational expressions. And of course we can then use those tools to aid us in solving rational equations. So let's take a look here at these first two exercises to get an idea about, some rational equations that we've already solved or already have the capability to solve using skills that we learned, in past classes. So for example, right here, we're asked to solve the following equations for x and give evidence that your solutions are correct. In other words, we just want to kind of like check our answers and stuff like that. So we are going to be well, that's interesting. Phone is not, oh, there it is. Okay, it's listening to me now. All right, so we're going to get this x by itself, right? So how do we do that? We're going to subtract 1/3 from both sides, okay? And it'll leave us with the x over 2. And now we need common denominators here. In order to subtract, and we can do that by converting that 1/3 into sixths. And we'll do that by multiplying the top and bottom by 2. And so we get then 5/6 minus 2/6, which gives us 3/6. Okay, or if you like, you can just make that 1/2. All right, then we'll finish solving by doing what over here? Well, we have x divided by 2. To undo divide by 2, we'll multiply both sides by 2. And leaves us with x here, and 1/2 times 2 is just 1. So our solution is x equals 1. Let's go ahead and show that our solutions are correct. So we'll go ahead and just plug the 1 into the equation there. So we'll do 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 equals 5 over 6. Again, to add these two things, we need a common denominator, and it's going to be 6. The least common denominator is 6. So we'll go ahead and multiply this by 3 over 3, and multiply this by 2 over 2. 3 times 1 will give us 3. 2 times 3 gives us 6. Oops. Okay, plus, and then 1 times 2 gives 2, 3 times 2 gives 6, and sure enough, 3/6 plus 2/6 will give us the 5/6. So check, that works. All right, let's try number 2. Now number 2 already has common denominators. They're all 9, so we can go ahead and work this a couple different ways. There's actually 2 ways we can do this here. So one way we can do this is like we did up here, where we got rid of that constant term and then solve for the x. So we'll do that here too. So what would be our first step here if we're going to solve it like we did number 1? In fact, why don't you go ahead and pause the video if you want to and try and solve number 2 just like we did number 1. Okay, hopefully you pause the video, at least if you felt confident enough to do it, okay? And even if you didn't feel confident, good for you if you did try it on your own first. So we're going to subtract 5/9 from both sides. All right, we'll have 2x over 9 equals 8 minus 5 will give us 3/9. And again, we can simplify that if we want to just 1/3. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue solving. We'll multiply both sides by 9 to cancel out the divide by 9 there. And then 1/3 times 9 is 3. Again, if you don't like that, you can make it 9 over 1, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom like that. It'll be 9/3, which simplifies to 3. Final step here, we'll divide both sides by 2, and so we get x equals 3/2. So plug that in to check it. We'll do 2 times 3/2 over 9 plus 5 over 9 equals 8 over 9. 2 times 3/2 is going to be 3 over 9 plus 5 over 9 equals 8 over 9. And check, that works, right? Because the 3 and the 5 will add together to make that 8 there. Now I told you there was another way to solve this. An alternative way to solve this problem, I'll show you over here. We can take that 2x over 9 plus the 5 over 9, that's equal to 8 over 9. And since we have a common denominator, we can combine our numerators together here. Okay, they're not like terms, so we'll have to rewrite it as 2x plus 5 all over 9 equals 8 over 9. But now we can do something like we could cross multiply on both sides if you wanted to. We could also just multiply both sides by 9, and that would eliminate the 9 there and the 9 there, and allow us to solve as well. So a couple of different options here, different ways you want to think about it. So let's just do let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 9. I feel like that'll maybe be the most efficient way to work. And so we'll have 2x plus 5 equals 8. And we just solve from here. Subtract 5 on both sides. 2x equals 3. Divide both sides by 2. And hey, what do you know? We get 3/2 again. Okay, so two different ways to solve it. When we get into the actual solving of rational equations, the more trickier ones, we'll use a skill more along the lines of this. All right, see you guys in the next video for the next example.